Good morning. Welcome, all of you. Friday in the second week in Ordinary Time. Today we have a fantastic passage from Mark. It is the call of the 12 disciples. Let us listen. From the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Jesus went up into the hills and summoned those he wanted. So they came to him, and he appointed 12. They were to be his companions and to be sent out to preach, with power to cast out devils. And so he appointed the 12. Simon, to whom he gave the name Peter, James, the son of Zebedee, and John, the brother of James, to whom he gave the name Boanerges, or sons of thunder. Then Andrew, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James the son of Alphaeus, Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot, the man who was to betray him. The Gospel of the Lord. So today we have this moment when Jesus Christ called the 12, his apostles, companions, here is translated, companions, apostles, those who will be sent. The word apostles mean to be sent. And we see that Jesus Christ is calling a very particular group of people who are most probably far from the image of us saints we might have. We see, knowing about them a little, because we don't know everything about the life of the apostles. But first of all, we have to see that first Jesus had some apostles, some disciples. There was the crowds of people. Then from this crowd, he is calling the 12 who will be close to him, whom he will train, and whom he is to send out to preach the gospel, giving them the authority, the power. But we see, first of all, Peter. We know it very well. Peter, who is to be the first among them, the one who received the keys. There will be this promise that on him there will be built this church. But we know also that Peter was very weak, hot-tempered man, the one who was correcting Jesus Christ, trying to correct him, taking him aside in one moment, but on the other moment he will be, jumping to the conclusion that Jesus is the Messiah, Jesus is the Son of God. Then we know that in a few minutes before Jesus Christ will be arrested, Peter will be, trying to solve the problem with a sword, cutting the ear of one of the servants. And then we know also that then he denies the Lord. So we see that he is like up and down. So he, like this, will be even after the resurrection. Then we have, of course, Judas, the one who will betray the Lord, as well the one who was in charge of money. So on one hand, he was intelligent. He was portrayed like that, because to be in charge of the money, it was not given to someone who don't know how to count. But we see that how attached to money he was. Then we have Thomas. We know that he was, questioning. That Jesus Christ was telling him that he have to go to the Father, and Thomas saying, "But we don't know the way. We don't know where he's going." And then, of course, Thomas is known as the one who was doubting. We have James and John, sons of Zebedee, who are, beside the fact that they have this nickname Sons of Thunder. Was probably not because they were super kind people. Sons of Thunder means that they have a temper. Then, I mean, of course, we know them from different scene in the gospel where they were looking to take the first place in the kingdom. Of course, we have Matthew, the tax collector. We have a little more about him in the other video when we were speaking about the call of Matthew. I mean, tax collector was, I mean, the one who was cooperating with Romans, so was not really considered to be too faithful Jew. So we have these guys. I mean, most probably if we dig a little more, we could find more details. But to see that many of them, I mean, this journey they started in following the Lord will last several years before they will be ready to give their own life for the Lord. So it is a, hopefully, I mean, for me anyway, but it's a consolation that the Lord don't call us in the moment when we are ready 100%. No, He's calling us to start a journey with Him. There will be a journey, and many times it will be quite long journey. We know that Saint Peter, before he will give his own life, will take maybe around 30 years, because it was in the year 64 traditionally. So Jesus Christ died in year 33. So it is a quite long journey. But we know also from the Gospel of John how in the end, when Jesus Christ is having this dialogue with him about, do you love me, do you love me? Say, yes, yes, Lord, you know, I love you. But we see that a second later, he's preoccupied about John, saying, what about the other guy? Jesus Christ saying, you follow me. So we see that even after the resurrection, and there's many other passages when John will be the one who maybe recognized the Lord when they were in the boat. Then when they ran to the tomb, it was said about John that John believed. It's not said this about Peter. So we see them as those who have a long journey in front of them. So looking at this reading with the names and knowing about them a little, to see that all of us who maybe sometimes are ashamed of the Lord and we deny Him because we are terrified that maybe we will lose something if we acknowledge belonging to the Lord, or we see maybe our attachment to money, how we worry for the future, or we always looking for the first places, or we have this hot-tempered heads, or we are maybe despised in the society for the work we do, or for the past, for some sins of the past, like Matthew, the tax collector, whatever it might be. The Lord is calling us first to be His disciples, to follow Him, to listen to Him, and then one day He wants to make of us an apostles, those who will be sent out to preach with the power to cast out the devils. So it's amazing reading, even though sometimes when we see the list of the names or different genealogies or something like that, maybe we just say, okay, I know what it is about this 12, and some of us we know maybe by name, by memory, by heart, the names. But to see in that passage, in that gospel today, it's a good news for you and for me, that God is coming to call us, as weak we are. And if we are honest with ourselves, we see how many vices we have, how many worries or misunderstandings, how many times we try to correct Jesus when the cross appear and saying seems He's not listening, or why He's not fixing it where He is. Maybe He's sleeping, maybe we need to wake Him up. And then Jesus Christ comes to enlighten us, saying, you man of little faith. But to see that, not to be discouraged, not to be maybe scandalized with our own weaknesses, but to be as the ones who have been called by the Lord, as weak as we are, with our vices, but also knowing that the Lord is able to make of us his apostles, his companions. So with this full of hope, with this encouragement, we can enter in this new day. Have a great day. God bless you.